Right, welcome back to this end of season wrap-up episode, the team analysis. Let's have a look at the team, how we performed over the season, who played well, who did not play so well, and who we'll be looking to replace. Do we want the director of football to be getting rid of some of our players or bringing in certain positions? So it's always a nice little thing to do at the end of the season, especially before transfers start. Usually because you get to buy your own players, but in my case, just because I'm interested. Maybe I'll pick up, a little like I did last time, that certain players playing better, like Mr. RU. Picked him up last end of season video as being the better left winger, and this season he's had a stomper. Or we're about to find out he is. So if we go straight into the game, let's start with the goalies. So just before we get started, if you are interested in the views and the way I go about looking at my team analysis, please do check out the video above. I'm hoping I can get the tags working. And that will run through what I do, the process, the views, why I set it up this way. But I'm assuming as loyal followers, you have already watched those videos. If you haven't, go and check them out. So let's start with the goalies. Adrian has been our goalie. Where do we go? Report stats. For the entire season, again, as the director of football refuses to replace him. So let's have a look. What's he got? He's always a great shot stopper. Look at that, 81% on shot saves, 61 goals conceded overall. Hasn't the held percentage still looking low, but I don't think there's much we can do with him. If he could save that percentage of shots and hold a greater percentage, that would be fantastic. So what's that? Under half being held. So that is obviously we'll be looking to improve that. Clean sheets ratio much lower than last season. We know we need to replace him, really, don't we? He's a good shot stopper, but he needs someone there to clear it up. He gives away too many chances. He is a pain in the ass. Passes, 65% succeeded. I think that's up from last season. I can't remember. I'll have to go back and have a look. But we have been setting him on shorter distribution, so I'd expect that to go up. That's good to see. I don't want him losing the ball, punting it long, as he was before. But as a goalie, we're fairly happy. If we don't replace him this season, it won't be the worst. He's still showing us 3-star. Could really do more. Who did we bring in? He brought in this Lawrence Vigouroux, but I mean, at 24, his potential is worse than Adrian's. Disappointing by Mr. Director of Football, Mr. Martin Glover. But that was the defenders. That's the boring one. Let's get into the more fun team selection. So we'll start with the defenders. Set up on my defender view. And let's have a look. So Winston Reid playing the most games, closely followed by Ogbonna. Oh, Sam Byram as well. So we had 40 odd games. Obviously we had all the Euro Cup games in there as well and decent cup runs. So we have a lot of stats to go through. Goals leading to mistakes leading to goals. 3 is not too bad for a whole season. Not great to have your best centre backs being the ones that give them away. I think last season we had them coming from the left and right backs. So yeah, that's a bit of a worry, but not too bad. 3 isn't something to go crazy about. Mistakes overall. Byram's still making the most mistakes. Still young. Got a lot of development to do. Potential abilities come all the way down to 3-star now. So he's got potential. He says to be a quality player, but not really gonna blossom into the player we think he was gonna be. So we may have to do some work. What's his concentration? 12, decisions 10. Maybe we'll get him a bit more tutoring to see. Although, how old is he now? 24. Maybe we'll try and shoot him if we can. See if we can boost some of those decisions that lead to these mistakes. Other than that, who else got behind him? Reid, not too bad. Ogbonna, Masuka doing real well down there. How many games did he play? 34 in the end. Not too far off, and only half. When I know they were making more mistakes last season. Interceptions, this is one of my favourite ones. Winston Reid, right up there. Ogbonna close behind. Cutting out those balls before they get in there. Reece Oxford got to hit 30 games he managed to get. 30 starts for us in the end. Up there with 476. So playing less games and getting him in there. He will make more appearances this season. Look at him. 4-star, potentially 5-star. Currently at 2.5, but he is developing well. Marking 13, marking 16, tackling 13 and heading 12. Pretty good across the board. ball playing defender, which I do like a bit more, especially in our tactic. So he will feature more, I think, this season. We may have a look at some of the youth squads in this video as well, because I think we'll be bringing some of them in. We might be throwing them on the bench this season rather than relying on the Director of Football to buy some better players. Use some of the youth. Key tackles. Ogbonna and Reed, just where we want them to be. Oxford not far behind. Byram up there. Ooh. Masuku not a great tackler. Tackles completed. Right, what do we want? Tackle complete percentage. This is good. So Oxford not far off that centre back percentage up there. High 80s. High 70s. Low 80s. Very good percentage for those guys. Not too bad from the wingers. Byram here on the lowest, which is probably why he's made so many mistakes. Oh, actually, no, Masuka's already below him. Not great at the old tackling. Fouls. Oh, I'd expect to see Byram up there, making mistakes but not giving away fouls. Winston Reid giving away most fouls. Yellow cards, 8 and 8. Winston Reid and Ogbonna, not too bad. One red card for Oxford. That was the game against United, wasn't it? I remember that. Key headers, Ogbonna and Reid. Oxford not too far behind. Maybe we should work on his heading. What is he compared to the other guys? Reid's got 15. Ogbonna 14, so he's not too far behind those. We're headers 1 percentage. Again, straight up there, not looking too bad. Wouldn't expect the fullbacks to be making too many headers. Okay, key passes. Let's judge these wing backs in. So 11 key passes come from Byron, 9 coming from Masuku. Masuku, I keep getting it wrong. I'm sure I'm getting it wrong, but Masuku it's what I've been calling him. That's a good amount of key passes come from those guys. Good pass completion ratio as well. High 70s again. For left and right back, it's nice. Cross completion. 12% from Masuku is real good. 8% from Byram, not so much. What's his crossing? 14. He should be a bit better than that, I think. And then dribbles per game. Then the guy's getting forward. So that's not too bad. Not too bad with the wingers. I think I'm happy with the left and right back. I think Cresswell has lost his place now. How is he? 28. Maybe he's worth trying to get rid of. 2.5 star. Valued at 6 million. Get rid of him now whilst he's still worth something. We have some good defensive wing backs in the reserves who could cover if Masuku gets injured. Masuku only 24 with that higher potential, so really we want to play him as much as possible. So possibly Cresswell out. Happy to then give Oxford that some more time in there. And I know we've got Reece Burke in the under 23s as well, so he will be worth keeping an eye on. So that's the defenders. I think that's not. I've not been unhappy with the defenders, to be honest. Right, midfielders. That midfield should do duo or trio depending on the formation we played. So who have we got in here? We'll skip the wingers and we'll do them as part of the wingers and strikers. So start Andre Ayew, 56 games. Whoa! But we're looking at these guys: Tillemans, Obiang, Onoma, Noble. These are the ones we want to look at. Goals. That's what we expect. So Onoma picking up 6 goals there. First of the central midfielders. 7 assists as well. Tillemans 4 goals and 12 assists from that more defensive position. He does play defensive midfield. I didn't realise that. Not as a deep line playmaker. Ooh, interesting. Okay. So yeah, that's good to see. 6 goals coming from your midfielders. 12 assists from Tillemans. Who else we've got? Oh, Edmilson Fernandez not coming in too far behind. Lanzini not having a great one there. 2 goals, 5 assists. Played 14 games. Oh, he didn't play as often as I thought he did, to be fair. And Neymar and Tillemans coming in, but look at them. They're going to develop into some absolute beasts of players. Let's look at the assists. Oh, Wilfried Zaha, Jesus. So Tillemans up there 12, second behind Ayew. So Ayew not bringing in as many assists, but I think Zaha did a lot of the work to set up a lot of Ayew's goals, to be fair. I know Lanzini in there. Fernandez coming through. Fernandez is one to watch. What's his potential? His potential's dropped right down now. He could have developed into something. Maybe we should have let him go out on loan. We may have stunted his growth there. Assist per 90 minutes. Tielemans, look at that. What an absolute player. Key passes. Tielemans and Neymar right up there at the top. Look at these guys. These two are the centre midfield duo, aren't they? Knowing Tielemans can play defensive mid and as a deep line playmaker, maybe not as well. Oh, it makes me think about changing the formation. Having those two as my two middle. Maybe have Obiang as a backup or Noble as the backup. Both of them dropping off now. Obiang, 26. That's still decent, but I don't think he's going to improve much. He's a good interceptor of the ball, but is he best to be back up and have these two always on the pitch? Something to think about. Something to think about. Right, pass completion ratio. Obiang, there he is, right up there with pass completion. Mark Noble right behind him. So those in that defensive role, playing the safer passes, I'd imagine, with the high pass completion ratio. Key passes. Oh, I missed that one out, didn't I? Oh no, I didn't. So yeah, still something to be said by these guys. How old's Noble now? 31. Ugh. Hopefully he'll become a coach and we'll sign him up, but I can't. I can't sign him because I don't have control. But yeah, this might be Noble's. This will be Noble's last season, I imagine. I don't want to sell him. I'd rather him just stay here forever. Become a coach, please. Crosses completed. We wouldn't expect too much from these guys now. 15 and 15. Key tackles. Are they making any tackles? Obiang making 4 key tackles. Tielemans making 3. Noble on 2. Interceptions. I want to see if Tielemans is making a lot of... So he is. Not far behind Obiang. Again, another reason to put him in that more defensive position. Even as an advanced playmaker, he's making interceptions. That's very interesting. Tackle 1 percentage. Noble right up there. For me, 16 games. Obiang behind him. Tielemans then right there again. Shots on target. We don't really more about this, but Onomar Tielemans right up there again. Goal. Mistakes lead to goals. Ooh. Now that is a worry. 3. That's the most we've seen. Look at this potential though. Best players at the club. He's just improving across the board. I think having him in here as a deep line playmaker. Oh, his work rate's not great though. Which is why he's more suited to that advance. Passing 17, first touch 17, flair 16, technique 18. He would be wasted as a deep line playmaker, I do feel. That work rate's not good. Can you work? I don't think you can work on work rate. Maybe we look at getting him a tutor. He's only 21. Getting him a tutor. Maybe a Noble. Let's have a look at Mr. Noble. Where are you? Where are you? Right down the bottom. Yeah, work rate 18. He's a workhorse. Maybe we'll try that this season. Very interesting. Right, mistakes. Tielemans up there. Obiang not far behind. That's good to see though. So he's not too far off Obiang. Yellow cards. Obiang far and away the most. Noble second in that deep role. Key headers. Tielemans again. Header win percentage. Obiang. Okay, so there we go. Another thing to think about: do we drop Obiang and Noble? Use Noble as a tutor for Tielemans. Put Tielemans in a defensive role. Have Neymar always in that attacking role. Advanced playmaker, sorry. And then we can still play Lanzini. Or we have the option of dropping in and bringing in a defensive midfielder. If Lanzini's not the key player, that attacking midfield can drop to the defensive midfield game on game, because actually what we're relying on is the 2 decent central mids as our anchors, the wingers, and a decent striker. Interesting. This is why I like doing these views, because you have a look at the team, you start seeing stuff that you thought you saw or you've not picked up on, and it just helps inform your tactics going into the next season, and should inform your purchasing of players. But obviously I let Martin Glover handle that, because I don't need to dirty my hands with transfers. So, wrong button. So let's have a look at the sexy guys. The guys up top, striker, winger. We know Sarko had an awesome season. Dropped off at the end, but an awesome season. Let's look at starts. Are you up there with 56? Tillemans 49, Sarko 48. So we still played a lot of games. Oh, down at 3-star recommendation. 17 finish and just carries him. Absolute beast of a player. Ugh. Right, so goals. Here we go. 32 goals from 48 appearances for Sarko. Wow, wow, wow. Let's have a look. Hang on a minute. Where's his history? So in the Premier League, 17 goals, 20 last year, 17 this year. Before that, look at that, he had nothing. Well, he was in the second league in France, he was scoring like this. He's had a 5-year spell. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4-year spell, and he's back at it again. I wonder how old is he now? Sarko, where are you gone? 28, so he's in his prime. Lovely job. Andy Carroll. Oh, we get Andy Carroll's loan appearances. We can see he's 11 goals. He wasn't playing too bad, to be honest, for Udinese, but we will try and sell him, I think, because he doesn't have a place in this team. The big man AC, unfortunately. Are you with 13 goals? Zaha with 12 behind him. 12 goals for Zaha and 21 assists. Jeez, he's been outstanding as well. Right, shots on target, 61%. Sarko, far and away the best. Valencia, he's transferred, hasn't he? So he's gone. He didn't quite get off the mark for us. Offsides, that should be Sarko, shouldn't it? Yeah. Assists, so there we go. Zaha, 21 assists. He's had an outstanding season as well. Wasn't sure about him when he came in, but he is marked down as a quality player. 25 years old, so he's still got nowhere to improve in terms of ability on here, but he's still got some stats in there to grow. His potential won't all be used up yet. Absolute beast of a player. Look at this. Stamina, pace, work rate's not as high, but flair. What do we have? We're on sport attack, so yeah. Wow, wow, wow. 9 finishing and he's got, whatever it was, 12 goals. So what's he got here? Let's have a look. I'm interested now. 8 goals. Highest he's had since he played in the Championship. Off less games. 10 assists. Highest he's ever mustered as well. Free player of the match. He is in form. An assist per 90 minutes. I do like this one. Zaha right there. Lanzini up there in terms of assists per 90 minutes. So that's good to see. Tillemans not far behind. Key passes. Tilleman and Omar, so they're central midfield duo. Zaha and Ayew, the next guys behind there. Lanzini then falling in. Pass completion ratio. Some weird guys at the top here. And Omar, good to see. 80s. 83, this is good. No one too low. Lowest we've got is Sarko on 75. That's pretty bloody good for passes. I suppose we do play a mixed passing game. We don't look to pass too long. So I would expect that on a lower tempo as well. That's not too bad. But crosses completed ratio, that's the one we want. Andy Carroll tops the list. Andy Carroll with 23 crosses completed. That's actually kind of impressive. 13 crossing. What's he doing making crosses? I suppose it's the target man, he's putting the ball in. So cross completion ratio. Sarko up there with 20% from his 6 crosses. I know of 10. Lanzini, where are the guys that have taken all of them? 45 crosses from Zaha, 37 from Ayew, 10%. Could be higher. But that's a phenomenal amount of crosses to be putting in. Dribbles per game. Zaha likes to beat his man. Don't expect these guys to be tackling so much or intercepting, to be fair. Nothing too bad on the Reds. Key headers, what have they got here? So Sarko, oh, they're up there winning headers sometimes. So that's interesting. Didn't really see Dolberg. What's he been performing like? Let's just highlight him. 50% shots on target ratio. He's only played 4 games. 2 assists though, 2 goals from 4 games. Not too bad. Pass completion 84%. Okay. Well, he will be an interesting one to watch. seems to prefer this bloody inside forward role, but we'd rather have him in here. Maybe have him use him as a complete forward, because advanced forward, I know he's got all the same stats, hasn't he? He's just got a lot more if we used him as a complete. We might ever play. I've toying with the idea of a 2-striker system, but then we need to buy another striker. So I think Dolberg will have a few more games this season. Sarko, obviously, we're hoping will have another outstanding season, but we need to play Dolberg, especially with Valencia going. We don't have the support for strikers. We may also use Dolberg as the backup left mid, because I'm assuming Mr. Payet's going to go. As you see, he didn't really play 17 games, hasn't really lit up the board anywhere. He's now wanted. He's transfer listed by request. He's 31, 13 million. I think we've got the best out of him now, and he wants to play Champions League football apparently. So we'll have to let him go. But that's not too bad. Well, I think we're happy with our left and right mids. We're going to get rid of some of these players. Hopefully that will mean that. Oh, El Ghazi didn't play too. Hasn't really done much. He's quality play. He's marked up as, but nothing on Zaha. Just got distracted. Okay, so the only thing to do then, before we wrap this episode up, is just have a look at the under 23s. I wonder if it does bring me stats on them. Only the ones out on loan. So let's have a look at our loanees. All positions. Let's just make this easy. Recommendation. So Bergwijn, he's going to go back, isn't he? So we've got Jordan Williams. He's the right back. Played 23 games on loan to Brighton, I believe it was. Yeah. He's 18, so he could come back. Defensive fullback. We want to train him as a wing back, really, so we can get back in. Because he can play both sides, might come in as that backup. With Arbeloa and James Collins retiring this year, there's a chance for these youngsters to come through. So 18, if he starts playing, he could well start challenging Byron for that right-hand place. We want to look at the defender views. It's going to break everything when I do it. No, luckily. So, not too many mistakes. 31 interceptions. Tackle win percentage 72%. Heading 81. That's good. He's a right back though, so that'd be interesting. 23 starts. Decent little player. Actually, let's put on the team selector. And that gives a bit more. Who else we got? So we got Domingos Quina. Didn't go out 18. He probably needs to go out on loan. 2 stars. Not going to be enough to get in there. He needs a loan if he's going to progress, but plays in the position we can use. Nuno's not going to get anywhere. Reece Burke was the other one I want to look at. Central defender. On loan at Birmingham at the moment. Has decent potential. Not as good as Reece Oxford, but interesting to see. Played 21 games. Martin Samuelson, he's another one that we might have to have a look at. Plays all across that midfield. That crossing could be worked on loan at Rangers. Wants to play mainly in the middle. But we do need someone to come in and play there. Lanzini's not going to last forever. I'm just a bit worried that these potentials aren't as high as I want them to be. Joe Powell, another, and Neuville. That's why we might get rid of. He's the guy I was thinking of replacing Cresswell with as a backup left back. We've got him in here. Need to train him as a wing back, but his crossing's 10. That's not too bad. Not got the stats at the moment, but only 18. Has good potential. Very quick. So it's whether we want to give some of these guys chances, not send them out on loan, try and develop them in house. Joe Powell was it one? Sorry. Yeah. He's got corners, free kick taking, long shots. Got some weird stats to be good at. Advanced playmaker. So we've got some decent talent. Luka Belic. Striker. Not really got any decent striking talent. This is the only guy. Potential to be quality player, but only 3-star. Poacher. Decent finishing and is mid-range in a lot of stuff. That's annoying because we could have done with a decent striker. Yeah, there are some not really cutting the mustard. So that gives you an idea of the youth players, but we'll have the sum off. We'll see the transfers. I'll bring you the transfer update and the first game of the season, and then some of these guys might be making some appearances in the first team. But we'll leave that there. Just a quick little episode to run through the squads, run through the team selections, team selections, run through the team analysis for the year, see how people played, get an idea for the formations we'll be playing next year. Because, I like to bring you guys along on the journey, the tactical journey to go through. So yeah, definitely going to try and bring Tillemans and Omar in as full-time as much as possible in that central midfield role. I think those two need to gel in and build a relationship there. And then we'll fit everybody else around. We will be saying goodbye to James Collins, Ginger Pele and Arbolo, as they will retire in a couple of months. But I will bring you all that in the next episode. So, thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed that, please do smash the like button. If you are new to the channel, please do subscribe, because you get to see it all the time. It comes up in your feed. It's easy. You don't have to type in Big Herb. But other than that, I will see you next time for the first game of the season. Hope you have enjoyed. Have a good day. Bye bye.